if we're talking about, postnatal depression and anxiety, what are things that mothers and fathers need to be looking out for as sort of, I suppose, warning signs in themselves and also in each other, to then go and ask for some help?
Yeah. So sometimes people get really confused between postnatal depression, baby blues, and just being tired, because they all kind of look similar. I guess the difference with postnatal depression is that it lingers and it doesn't get better after a good night's sleep. So if you've had a few nights bad sleep and you say, you know what, I need a good night's sleep, and you go and have that good night's sleep, and the next day you're still feeling like a bad person, that you're not enjoying spending time with your baby, that you're still really irritable and you're just not feeling like yourself, and it's been going on for a few days, maybe between months 1 and 2 or any time after 1 month, that's when we start thinking, okay, maybe it's something else. And it's really about, I'm not coping, when we see postnatal depression as well. And we see it in dads as well. They may be really distant from their partner. They may not want to be spending time with their baby as well. And they may be coming home and irritable and, tired as well. So give each other a break, give each other a night off from sleeping and taking care of Bub, and then reevaluate. And if the symptoms are still there, then get some help. So things that we can do is chat with the maternal health nurse, which mothers have access to. And I really encourage fathers, if they're having any of those feelings, to also chat with their GP. Do some research as well to find out, is your experience really similar to others? Because a lot of the time, it's that parental guilt, but it's actually really normal, and it's not postnatal depression. It's unrealistic expectations. You're putting too much on your plate. And that's why seeing a professional is really good to kind of work out what it is. So I would say educate yourself as well. Do some readings. You can also call up some experts, call up some psychologists and say, hey, this is what I'm experiencing. Do you think I'd benefit from some help? And they can also link you in with some services. There's some online services as well. So things like Panda, they have a lot of resources there and help determine, is this postnatal depression? Is it not? Am I just tired and a bit down in the dumps because there's something else in my life that I'm unhappy about? Which again, you can still get some support with. What is really, really, really helpful though is caring for yourself. So it's things like making sure that you're eating, making sure you're getting enough sleep, cut out the caffeine, cut out the nicotine, try to avoid screens in your bedroom, find the time to switch off, find the time to exercise, put baby in the pram and go for a walk. These things are really, really important. And if all else fails, ask for help. It's the number one thing that we don't do when we are struggling, and yet the most helpful thing that we can do when we're feeling in over our head. So ask friends, family, your partner, anyone in your mother's group, or a health professional for help. And most people are so happy to help.
I agree. That's the one thing we don't do. We're very bad at doing it, I think. And it's always like, everybody's going to say, yes, I'll help you. That's the thing. Nobody's going to say, nah, I'm not going to help you. I don't care if you're struggling. Like, everybody's going to help you.
I know. I mean, people love to help. It feels good to help other people. I've made a career out of it. I love it. And it's so rewarding. And normally helping a mum means you get to spend time with Bub.
Yeah.
So it's fantastic. So, within my mother's group, or if I've got friends who have a baby, I'll say to them, you know what, give me the baby. We're going to go for a walk, go have a bath, go have a shower, go for a nap. Whatever it is that you need, I'm going to take this off you. Do not do the housework.
I know, right?
Because it's never going to be all done. There's always going to be something else that you could be doing. So ask yourself, what do I need right now to get through the next minute, the next hour, the next day, the next week, and start doing more of that, and prioritize it as well. Don't prioritize the housework. People aren't expecting to come to your house and for it to look like a display home. let some things slide. Work out your negotiables, your non-negotiables, do the things that have to be done, and then cut yourself some slack.
That's really good advice. So what are some other ways that we as a village or as a community can be helping these mothers, new mothers who are maybe, sort of, we can see that they're not really coping, or they've told us that they're not coping, or actually just any new mother? How can we be helping them?
I think just being a sounding board is really helpful. Being a new mum can be really isolating. Not a lot of women do have other mums around them that they feel comfortable to ask for help with. If you can imagine, you're a new mum, you're really tired, you're feeling overwhelmed, you're feeling like a bad parent. You don't want to then go to your friend who looks like they're coping with being a new mum and saying, I think I'm not coping with this at all. It's really vulnerable position to be in, to be able to ask for help. So I think a lot of what they need is just to know there's other women going through the exact same thing, and that we're all feeling vulnerable, we're all feeling uncertain, we're all learning, and some of us are struggling more than others, and that's actually okay. It's okay to get some support. So having resources, which you're building, which is amazing, is really, really helpful. And just being given the okay that you're okay, you're doing amazing, here's some things that you can do.
I find too, what I really actually dislike seeing, and I see it a lot, and you probably do too, especially online, is, someone reaching out for help and saying, I see it in the field of sleep, but, like, I'm not coping, I'm fully sleep deprived, my child's doing this, this, and this. And what I always see is everybody going, oh, that's normal, it's fine, welcome to motherhood. Like, and it really irritates me, because this person is actually asking for help. And, we've just talked about how hard that is to ask for help, and how we don't do it enough. And so I see these women doing it, and they're instantly shut down by people going, that's normal. Like, I'm like, you're not giving that person a solution or an idea or a suggestion. You're basically just telling them to suck it up and stop whinging because you're in the same boat too. That's not helpful to anyone, is it?
It's not helpful. And what I find is a lot of people who do that, they're actually, they're well-meaning. They're trying to validate the person's experience and say it's normal, there's nothing wrong with you. But at the same time, it's not helpful to the other person. No. It's kind of like when someone comes to you with a problem and you say, oh, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
The other person's not worrying about it.
Yeah, they're obviously worried about it. Yeah.
Yes. So never in the history of don't worry has that actually worked. So when someone says, I need help with this, yes, validate their experience. Yes, I've been through this. This is completely normal, but it's really hard. This is what you can do. This may be helpful. And it is about doing the practical things that help, what you need, getting the emotional support as well, and then getting the education. So I think if you've got those kind of three things, it's really helpful.
And I think for the rest of us, it's letting people ask for help that we need to be maybe a bit better at. If we see someone who is asking for help, whether it's online or at a mum's group or something, it's just listening to them and going, okay, whether or not I personally think that is normal, which I hate that word, but like, I get that you don't feel that it is. So how can I let you ask me for help, and how can I sort of help you best? And it might be through giving them some information or pointing them to some websites or some people that they could talk to. I think that's definitely something we all need to be better at.
Yeah, and we need to be better at listening too. I think we're all victim of being so caught up in the business of our own lives that sometimes we don't tune in to the cues that somebody else may be struggling, which is why I love that next month there's like, Are You Okay Day, and there's Mental Health Awareness Week, and people are getting a lot better at asking other people, hey, are you okay? I hope that people are becoming more comfortable with being vulnerable, and that we're creating more spaces for people to be vulnerable, and that's okay. And there's so much power in being vulnerable and getting the support that you need. And I love when I see people come into my clinic and they lay it all out on the table. And I think it's so brave and it's so amazing. And then we get to put the pieces all together, and we really empower this person and we give them solutions and we help them on their own journey. And it's wonderful. But they need to kind of go through that process of asking for help, being vulnerable, and then letting us in.
So lastly, in general, not just to do with the things we talked about today, what would maybe your number one tip or piece of advice to new parents be, in general, anything to do with babies?
Ask for help.
Yeah.
You can't do it on your own. When you say, that you've got a village, or the saying that it takes a village, it's not wrong. It is so true. On my own journey, I've thought about all the times I've asked for help, and I think about single parents who are isolated, and I just think, holy, how do you do that on your own? It is so tough. It is really hard. Ask for help. There's no shame in it. People are happy to help. You don't have to do it all on your own. You're not on your own. You don't have to be. Let other people help you.
I agree. I think that's excellent and very, very valid advice.
Yes, absolutely. And look, everybody needs help. I'm a mental health expert, and I still needed help. And I work with this cohort of clients all the time. We just need help. I mean, you don't need it, but it makes life a lot easier if you get help, and you don't need to torture yourself if you can get help. So ask for it.
I agree. Well, thank you so much. That has been very enlightening, and I think I hope a lot of people, who are in the position, maybe being first-time parents, or even actually second and third time, or fourth or fifth-time parents, because if we're talking specifically about postnatal depression and those really strong feelings, that's not limited to first-time parents, is it? I think a lot of people will have been able to take a lot away from this conversation, and
I hope so.
Yeah, and I'll link all of the relevant things in the comment box as well, so people know where they can start looking if they need some extra help.
Yeah, there is so much help available. So to anyone out there who is struggling, please just go and seek some help. Get help for yourself, practically, emotionally, socially, whatever it is that you need. You will thank yourself for it in the end, and Bub will be a lot happier too.
Thank you so much for that. It's been awesome talking to you today.
You're so welcome.
So thank you, Laura, so much for joining us today. I know I certainly got a lot out of our conversation, and I hope you all did too. If you need some more help and support with your little one's sleep, please check out our website. If you need some help and support, if you feel like you're not coping or experiencing any of those symptoms of postnatal depression or anxiety that we talked about, please look at Laura's website and the relevant Facebook pages, which I will link below. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you next time.